kind of fix myself. Your hat is lovely, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, a little thrift shop number. We
Oh,
used to have a job. I know,
yeah.
honestly, I feel like once you find a good thrift shop, that's like my entire wardrobe becomes that one shop. So I'm just like, what have we got going on today, girls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is it, or do you want to gatekeep?
It's in like Islington area.
Okay,
Period.
yeah, that's fair
Yeah,
enough.
like North London. I
Yeah.
actually would say the name, I just absolutely don't know the name of it. So no good. Yeah. It's me gatekeeping, but also just being a dumb bitch.
That's fair enough, and I'd say being a dumb bitch is a good way to describe how we both feel this morning.
Hey, I'm Baby Queen.
Hi, I'm Katie Beza.
Hey, this is Ryan McMullen.
Hi guys, Lara here.
Hey, I'm Jim from Koala.
Hi, I'm Astrides.
And you are listening to Lame Heart.
And you're listening to Lame Heart.
And you're listening to Lame Heart.
It's out now.
I really hope you enjoy it.
So enjoy.
Welcome, Gracie, to Lame Heart. How's it going?
Very well. How are you?
I'm a little bit fragile this morning. I was out at the weekend and paying what I like to say in Ireland as the crack tax.
Okay,
Um,
yes. Um,
and on top of that, I had to take an umbrella out for the first time in weeks this morning. And, it's cold and everything like that. But, we have a chat now, and I got to listen to a few bangers in preparation for this morning. So,
it's
who's
a
winning?
win's a win. A win's a win.
A win's a win. And yeah, I'm delighted to have you on because I'd say I was aware of you kind of from a distance for a while, but I hadn't taken the opportunity to like really plunge in and read everything I could and listen to everything I could on the way. And man, you're like what's the word I want to use? Your like career passport is something else.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, career passport. That's definitely a nice little term.
Yeah, came up on the spot. So even when
I
we're
know. I
being
was like, you're on it actually this morning. Hey, Rachel, bringing something out of you today. Love it.
I will say when I'm hungover I get poetic. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I do too, but that kind of just transfers into me crying, so that's fun.
Yeah. Like that's coming later, but we'll try not to do it on the Zoom when, we're meeting for the first time.
This is a safe space, but I understand. Yeah, we could try and hold it off for the Zoom call.
Yes, wonderful. So when I read all the headlines, again, as I said, I was very impressed. I like Brit nomination for Song of the Year, Platinum Records nominated for Songwriter of the Year. Like I knew of you as a singer, but I didn't realize how many songs you'd written. Once I saw your real name, your government name, on the credits, I was like, oh damn, I've seen this name a few times. Like again, just the headlines. There's Psycho, Anne-Marie and Aitch, which was in the top five. Ritual, Tiësto and Rita Ora. By Your Side, Jonas Blue and RAYE. Loads of more credits with KSI, Meghan Trainor, and actually someone who was on Lame Heart a few months ago, Katie Baser. And turns out we actually, well, I mentioned the song that you wrote for her. I'll Be Here
Oh,
for You.
shit. Yeah,
I
I
was like,
love.
yeah, I really like that one.
Oh, no way. That's sick. Yeah, Katie's such a babe. I love her. She's so jokes.
Yeah, she's a lot of high energy and a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that she's just like that in the studio as well. Like she's definitely one of those people that like is the same online and offline, which is something like it's quite rare, I think. Like she's really like just chef's kiss with that. She's a real one. So yeah, that song was so fun to write. It was just like us jumping in the studio at like really late at night, just jumping around. Because I feel like, when I feel like I'll just match someone's energy a lot of the time, which is kind of what like a songwriter does a lot. Like you're just there to facilitate when you're the songwriter. So it is a lot of me just like us just egging each other on to be the most ridiculous versions of each other. So yeah, don't know how we got productive and wrote a song. Who knows?
Yeah, and like to add to what you were saying about her, that kind of that tells the same story. I didn't find out until after the fact that she wasn't wearing trousers.
Oh, in your
Uh,
interview.
yeah, she put up a story being like, "Oh, I have a Zoom in 10 minutes," and then she was like, "Oh, I'm not wearing trousers," and I was like,
Okay, yeah.
"Cool."
Well, she's exercising her free will there, and I love it. Good for you, girl. Who
Exactly.
knows? I'm wearing trousers. I'm not. I'm wearing a skirt. So, yeah,
Well, hey, it's something.
it's something for
This
sure.
is a very family-friendly podcast.
Yes, I've already
Definitely.
myself as a dumb bitch like twice, so it's family for all.
It's okay. It's okay. The kids are going to learn that word at some point, so they may as well learn it now.
You tell him. That's what I tell my mom.
Yeah, adding on to this list that we're still going through, there's been the support slots with Anne-Marie, Tom Grennan, jumped on the mic with Clean Bandit, with Jax Jones, Craig David, among others. Like, as I said, the career passport do be stamping.
Yeah, she's had a couple of stabs in my time for
Yeah,
sure.
it's absolutely mad. Well done. Like,
Yeah, no, it has been a bit of a silly old journey. I feel like my career path has just been like so up and down because like I don't know, it's not really been the easiest journey, I'm not gonna lie. Like I kind of started as a songwriter, but I always wanted to be the artist. I just didn't want to like release music for the sake of it. Like I had the opportunity to when I was like really young, being a girl band, and I was like, no, I'm like Sia, I want to be like Sia. And then I was like, I'm gonna write the songs and then I'll know when it was the first one. So I kind of did that, and I worked for like 3 years trying to get like a record deal and like trying to get everything perfect and wait for the perfect moment. And I dropped my first song, and then I got vocal nodules. Like then literally went to the doctor like 2 weeks after, and they were like, Stu, you cannot sing anymore. And I was like 19, like heartbroken, everything, dreams crushed, couldn't sing for 4 months. You know, it's not exactly the most ideal situation post like signing a record deal. Not sure the label were very happy. And then, you know, recover and then went into COVID. And I was like, you must be kidding me. So I'm like a little COVID artist, which is kind of, I think, makes a lot of my kind of discography make sense as well. Because it's like, you can tell where COVID era was hitting. Like I was fighting for my life. But yeah, no, it's nevertheless, I feel like it had to be the way it is, you know, to get to where I am now, which is fun.
yeah, well, you're still going strong, and we've brought in a new era in the last few months because you used to be with the label and you've since gone independent. And I really like what I've found from the independent era so far. And I kind of my mind started doing a bit of connections, and it reminds me of like Ray's trajectory, where she was on a label, went independent, and then started putting a bunch of bangers out. How have you found the journey?
Yeah, I mean, what's so interesting is me and Ray had the exact same team at the same label. So
I knew that, I just wasn't sure if I should be the one to say it.
yeah, no, I mean, it's just yeah, it's kind of the same situation, but obviously different. We're very different genres, I would say, in terms of like we've obviously both done the dance thing, but yeah, leaving my old label was, I'm not gonna lie, it was like a really, really hard situation because I think even though they're similar situations, for me it was like I was a few years behind in terms of how much music I'd released. So I'd never quite got my name in enough to like have people really know what my artist project was about. And that was like, I think the most painful thing for me was that I was kind of being put as this like dance feature artist, but all I ever wanted to be was like alongside my favorite artists like Charlie and Caroline and you know, the Japanese house, like all of those like left of pop kind of girlies. And yeah, so I feel like this whole new era was about realigning with what music I really enjoyed releasing. And yeah, just kind of making that music and making music that I really love. And then kind of just starting from, I feel like a new artist again, like completely from scratch, because it's been like 3 years since consistently releasing music. So I feel like she's back at it, new girly. And fingers crossed we don't go through another global pandemic. You know, fingers crossed.
Yeah, well, it took about 100 years between, was it Spanish flu or something, and COVID. So
Oh,
hopefully,
just
you
enough
know,
time to keep, you know, maybe going on a little headline tour at some point. That'll be great.
Yeah, an album or two would be good in
Yeah,
that time.
have an album out. Oh, that would be a real treat.
Yeah, and so far we've had Delirium and Rhetorical Questions. Both of these are bangers. You know, as I said, I spent my birthday researching and writing up my notes for this, which meant listening to these and some of your other hits. And a banger is the best thing in the world, I'd say. A lot of people would probably say like food.
Yeah, it's all those classic birthday treats, but you're thinking, I'm gonna listen to that one British girl on repeat. Period.
Yeah, yeah, getting to know someone new.
Yeah, that's fun. Oh
But
well,
yeah,
be a little
they're
part of your birthday.
that was wonderful. And they're both like very carefree and they're very like soaking up a very present, immediate moment. And I think kind of the soundscape of them really adds to that because the intensity of them being bangers means you can't really focus or reflect too much.
Yeah, I think for me like it was the first time really seeing music that was about being in love. Which is it sounds so stupid, but it was like such a big change for me. I've always been like using music as a vent for emotions that I never want to say in my real life to my real life friends because I feel like a burden. So it was quite nice to kind of challenge myself in the studio in that way, which is just like, how can I write a song which I love equally as much and means as much to me, but is also something that I could play when I'm not crying, you know? So yeah, that's how they were birthed.
That's wonderful. And we're having a slight tone shift now with the new single, Back to Then. It is a bit more chill than the last two, but it's also kind of sadder. You're in mourning. And when I read up on the story behind it, it got even sadder in a way, because, you know, it is one thing when you hear a song mourning a relationship, but also then mourning a friendship like really hits you like a bullet. And then you're doing both in the song.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this song is less so like about like being sad the relationship's over, and it's more, I always think of it as a sister song to. I released a song a few years ago called "What a Waste," which is I think probably one of my favorite songs I've ever done. And the lyric in the chorus is like, "What a waste, 2 years of my 20s gone down the drain. Now I've got to fall in love again." And this one is like about the same situation, but instead of feeling angry that you're like you've wasted 2 years of, you know, you wish you were in that relationship. It's actually about like just missing the person and missing the friendship. So it's kind of like a more mature take on What a Waste, because you know What a Waste came out like maybe 2 or 3 months after we'd broken up. So I was heartbroken. But this one, yeah, this is more just like I saw him recently in like a bar and we had a really long chat and it kind of reminded me like, oh, like this is why we were even close in the first place. And I think that is like a different feeling. It's like more of a, oh man, like now you can't ever be in my life again, even though we get on really well. Like this is kind of the end of our journeys together because like I know I would find it too painful. I know he would find it too painful. So you just have to kind of be like, cool, love you from afar, like good luck kind of vibes. It's just like a different type of heartache. So I think that's why I wanted to like reflect on it. But it's also like it's sad, but it's to me as well, it feels like kind of happy because I'm like, look how far I've come. Like I'm over it. Like this is closure. So yeah, it's for the girlies that are like at the end of their heartbreak era. So yeah, it's kind of why I wanted to release it around the same time as these.
Yeah. And the maturity aspect is like another stamp in the career passport. That's going to be the through line of today's episode.
Yeah.
But I suppose it's just good to see that kind of take on things, and it's very refreshing that we're kind of we as I said we've had the banger, we've had the very intensive in the moment thing, but that as much as there's a lot of emotion to Back to Then, well not at peace, but it's kind of it feels very thought through and kind of there is emotion, but it's not like you're stuck in just acting on emotion. because sometimes like an angry song in particular is meant to be acting on emotion.
Exactly, yeah. It's like it's more like reflective than I think some of my other songs, which I think is just where I'm at in my life anyway. Just like I'm a reflective girl. My music, I always say, is like made for the like you know how you listen to girlies in their club like club girls. I'm the bus home girl. I'm like
Ah,
in your headphones in, you're at the back of the bus and you're having a little main character moment. And then you've got like John and like Kyle chit chatting, trying to go away. I'm doing a thing over here. That's what my music's for. And back to
that's
then, exactly that.
absolutely true. Because I had you playing on the bus home yesterday.
Oh, right. Well, there you go.
You
Doing your
know,
set. Let's
what
go.
wasn't actually when I think about it, wasn't playing when I was like getting ready to go out, but was playing on the bus home.
It
You
is.
you called it.
Yeah, it's just it just suits even like Delirium and Rhetorical Questions, like fun in a club just hits different on the way home because the lyric and rhetorical questions can be heard two different ways. Like it is kind of sad if you want to be sad. Like one of my favorite artists of all time is Robin, and it's like that's why
Uh-huh.
I love her so much. Is like I can be like I'm still dancing on my own, or I'm crying. I'm in a deep depression. So we love a girl that can do both.
Yeah. And it's been said before on Lame Heart, but there's nothing we love more than like a sad banger that can be read both ways.
Yes.
And there's anytime there's a chance to talk about sad bangers or to promote someone's sad bangers on this, I'm like, yes, what time? When are we available?
Yes, and we're in. Yeah, so that's it. Back of the bus, girls. Let's roll. Toot toot.
Perfect. And these three songs so far, taking us on the journey, is there like what kind of music do we have coming up? Is there an album in the works, or do we have some gigs to look forward to?
Yeah, definitely will be gigging again next year. I think like a couple of my like online girlies have been like, when's the live shows? I'm thinking I've been touring the same music for like honestly like the last 3 years because I've like not properly released anything. I've released like singles. I had a single with the Chainsmokers last year, which was really cool and like things like that. But I just wanted to get all of my new music out before I kind of do live shows. Not all of it, but at least some stuff so I can play around and like rejig the vibe of my live shows because I just feel like I've grown and changed a lot as an artist. So I definitely want to kind of rework everything, which is really fun. Like I say, new artist again, new old artist. So yeah, definitely next year there'll be a lot more of that. And yeah, the new music will just keep coming, keep rolling out. So yeah, just it's nice to be consistent again, really.
Beautiful. Really looking forward to it. Hopefully, I don't know, we'll see you over on this side of the Irish Sea because I'll be there if it happens.
Absolutely. Yeah, I must say the Irish crowds are insane. Like every time I was there I was in Dublin in April and it was like made me cry how much it was like that because the thing is right when you're a supporting act because I was a support act it's like scary like to into a crowd where you're like okay well Carol's at the bar chit-chatting like Sue's on her phone, and it's like actually the Irish crowd they really do just give it. They really listen, and it's very much appreciated. Let me just say that.
That's great to hear. Well, hopefully the next one doesn't, we don't have to wait too long before it happens. And can't wait to hear the rest of the music. Thank you, Gracie, for coming on to Lame Heart today.
Thanks so much. Yeah, lovely to chit chat, and I hope the hangover goes away.
Perfect.